This is Duke University.
And the research is fairly clear, and it's kind of one of those, oh great, research shows us what common sense tells us, that children learn best to read in a language that they already speak, as opposed to trying to learn to read in a language that they don't speak. I'm glad that research proves that that's true. And so what we're seeing is that countries recognize that and then therefore are trying to introduce mother tongue so that they can build that stronger foundation and then have kids transfer the literacy skills that they acquire in a language that they speak to a language that they're learning. That I'd say is one of the great challenges because it's a much harder thing to manage. So in Uganda, it's 12 languages, some of which aren't fully codified. In the Philippines, they're working in 17 languages. We've been doing some assessment work there. And so there are a whole other set of challenges we could talk about that go with dealing with mother tongue language. But we're also doing a lot of work on language transition. So when we're introducing work in getting kids to learn that foundation in mother tongue, how do we then transition it? So what are the particular instructional techniques for building that bridge from one language to the other so you carry the literacy skills over? So that's a big area we're working on now.
Do you have a second part of the question?
I'm wondering if you involved the parents in any way in the, you talked to the student, you obviously worked with the students, with the teachers, but what was the parents' role?
That's a great question.
I'll take that.
Go for it.
So in Liberia, where I've worked since 2008, the most important aspect of parental involvement is to communicate to them that their children are not reading, so that they actually, so I'm sending my kid to the school every day and they're coming home having not learned much. So what we have done, we have actually trained teachers on how to do the assessment using the tool that Joe talked about and communicate that to parents. So this meeting was facilitated by our coach initially. So as the time went on, teachers and parents started coming together and like, so what do we do? How can we support you better? So we kind of try to find a way as to how to involve parents in order to create more accountability between schools and communities. And then we have also tried to reach scale through radio shows where we have talked about importance of reading, what can you do at home, and so on. For example, our research indicates that if children read at home for 20 minutes every day, that alone is going to lead to a whole grade of difference in terms of their performance. Just that, 20 minutes a day. So we encourage parents to make sure that their children read to them or to their brother and so on at home. So we've done these targeted specific interventions with teachers. With parents. We didn't just bring them to the school and say, oh, here's how you develop a financial plan. This is a reading problem. This is what you can do at home. So that was the extent of working with parents.